Hello guys, hope you're doing fine. You are really doing a great job. Keep it up. This week's writing lesson is about setting. The objectives of this lesson are to identify the parts of a beginning, determine the parts of the setting, and detect the setting in a paragraph. First, we should know that the beginning includes both characters and setting. The characters are the people, animals, or things that take part in the action of the story. The setting is the time and place in the story. In order to detect the characters and setting, we use the WH questions: who, what, when, and where. To detect the characters, we ask who is doing the action and what action they are doing. For example, who, the witch. What was she doing? She was flying on her broom. Now, to detect the setting, we ask when and where the story took place. The setting helps us build the background and create images in the minds of the readers. It also helps to set the tone or mood of the story. The setting can describe the time, for example, a day, year, history, or the weather and the location of the events. For example, when was the witch flying? At midnight. Where was she? In front of the moon. When, de- when determining a setting, the writer may tell you exactly when and where the story is taking place. But sometimes you may have to determine the setting based on clues from the text. For example, if the exact date isn't listed, it is good enough to say something like modern times, in the recent past, in the distant past, or in the distant future, etc. An example for determining a setting. Jake hopped on his horse and trotted around the stables. He looked around the range from his mount and considered going on a ride through the prairie. He decided against it. Then he heard a train whistle in the distance. This was it. More settlers had arrived. Now Jake would take some of the weaker horses to the station and sell them to the new folks who were horseless. Now, you ask yourself, when and where is the story taking place? Your answer might be, this story is taking place in the past, perhaps the late 1800s, on a ranch near a train station. You can say, to explain your answer, I believe this because the train whistle seems important to Jake. There are no cars and Jake is selling horses. How are you supposed to come up with the setting of the story? You join the answers of the WH questions, the when, where, who, and what. But there is an order you have to follow to come up with the perfect setting. You start with the answer of when, then where, next the who answer, and finally the what answer. For example, at midnight, in front of the moon, the witch was flying on her broom. You will be given a worksheet for this week's task. You have to read each paragraph and detect the setting by answering the when and where questions and adding your explanation. Don't forget to mention the characters. Good luck, keep up the hard work, and stay safe.